everybody, it's Kelly and I'm back with another video for my product placement series with Rachel Reynolds. I'll talk more about that in just a second. The one thing is that we do take a supply and we try to use it up on a layout. When I do these series, if it's small embellishments like this wood veneer is, and that's what we're working with this month, I try to use a lot of it. So what I've done here is I've taken that green tree paper, which is from Illustrated Faith Advent, and I bought it in a pack, so I don't have a branding strip on the bottom. It didn't come with that. And I cut a 7-inch circle on my Cricut, and then I mounted the photo itself on a doily from the American Crafts DIY Shop paper doilies. And now I'm just going to take wood veneer from various sources onto and put it on my layout around this circle. And that was kind of my idea, to surround the circle with wood veneer. And I'll tell you a little bit about where things are from. Those large snowflakes are from Recollections. That little banner piece that I put at the bottom there is from Heidi Swap. And then any of the smaller snowflakes that you're going to see on here, that camera, the emojis, those are all from Studio Calico, as is that question mark as well too. And then the word story came from Freckled Fawn, as did the epic banner as well. And then I'm just touching that spring there. And that is from Chic Tags, which I don't think that company is even around anymore. It's very old. So what I did here is I kind of got everything where I sort of thought it would work. And then I'm going to go from there. One other thing I didn't tell you about here is the word wild is from Cosmo Cricut. It's from a pack that I have from Cosmo Cricut. So I'm just going to glue down the word story here. I'm kind of not exactly centering it over the photo. I want it a little bit closer where that epic banner is, but I want the epic banner to be crossing the top of that. And I'm just spacing things, like putting the bigger pieces kind of surrounding. And then I get this idea. I have these Heidi Swap flowers. And this story is, it's not really epic, but the epic part about this is that this is April 27th and it's snowing out. We were supposed to get, there's a predictions for up to 9 inches of snow depending on where you were in Wisconsin, where I live, in the southeastern part of Wisconsin, or the southern part of Wisconsin actually. This day I was not at home, but I was still in southern Wisconsin. I was at my craft retreat, and they couldn't predict it because the weather was a little hinky and funky, and it kind of depended where the front went through. So anyway, that's why this is epic, not that it's really an epic story. So again, I'm looking at, first I put down the big pieces. Now I'm looking at more the medium pieces. I liked that wood phrase there, but it just didn't look right to me if it was going horizontally. It was so big. And what I'm doing here is, now I want to mount the circle because I kind of have an idea where things are going to be. So I'm counting the dots on that background cardstock, and it's a polka dotted, embossed polka dot cardstock. It's the Basil Salt cardstock. All right, so then now that I have it partially glued down, I'm going to go back in again and start rearranging things. And when you do this, take your biggest pieces first, just like I'm doing, then take your medium pieces and then go with the small pieces in kind of in between there, and then that's kind of how you fill things up here. There is that Wild World, that's from Cosmo Cricut as well, and I liked putting it over the word spring because it meant, you know, like why it was a wild spring. It was a wild spring here. It snowed a lot more very late. It was a crazy spring actually. Now I just found a third emoji with the frowny face, because I was definitely frowning here. It was a tough running spring for me because we had so much snow. And again, these smaller snowflakes are from Studio Calico that I'm adding in now, just kind of trying to place things, trying to find not put the exact same snowflakes together, that kind of stuff. Use the camera just because that symbolized the fact that I was taking a photo of this craziness. The question mark is there because, you know, it's April 27th and we're still getting 9 inches of snow. It ended up not being that much. We got just kind of a dusting, but there were people a little bit north that did get that much snow in a crazy band. Okay, so now I think I have things kind of in place. So I'm just going to start using my ATG to glue them down. I'll also use my Scotch Quick Dry or Scotch Tacky Glue, which is in my fine line bottle there to the right as well too. So a little bit about my series with Rachel. There is a playlist for all of our videos. We're on our second rounds of the different embellishments because we used up what we thought we could for ideas. So if you ever have ideas, let us know. We've done a couple of them already. I've got another one that I'm probably going to do for next month if Rachel's okay with it. We'll see. And then we just, like I said, we just take an embellishment, use it up. And then I always add whatever we're doing in the title of mine. So if you go to my playlist, you can find it. I will leave the link to Rachel's video in the description of this video as well. So I decided I wanted something to ground that circle, that it felt funny just out there floating. So I'm going to use that Doodlebug washi tape, which kind of has a wood pattern to it, and then I'm going to move my circle up just a little bit because it was a little bit too close to the bottom. I reached up, you can see my hand and my camera there, or my arm and my camera, because I decided I wanted some labels or something on that to journal on. I can put the date on the banner, that was my thought, but I didn't have anything for bigger journaling or any other journaling, so I'm using that those L Studio labels there. That's what I will use, and I like those. They work really well with the greens I have there. Those are just either cut aparts or die cuts from different L Studio collections. I just have them sorted by color or groups of colors in a couple of 4x6 photo cases. So now I'll just overlap these and put them down and add that in like that, and that'll leave me lots of room. It's not a big story here. Epic again, only because it was late April and snowing. And I'm going to bring in another snowflake here just because I think I need to bring, the wood is so important in the top, I need to pull that down into that little label cluster there in order for it to look right, at least right to my eye. Kind of, otherwise it would look like it's really separate. It, you know, and it is a little nice marker for the journaling, kind of draws your eye there. By the way, I did switch a couple things. That when I came back, I had glued all the wood, at least to the circle. I haven't glued it down yet. I'll do that actually off camera, where I really glue everything down to the paper. And I use my quick dry at that point. All right, then I decided I wanted to add another little dimension or something. So I'm thinking about using these white enamel dots, and then I also have those green ones. I have like, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them from Doodlebug, the Sprinkles, the Limeade Glitter Dots, and I want to use these up. I have so few. I have, again, they're one of those supplies that I put to my left hand on my desk to keep them in mind that I want to use them up, and I have a bunch of packs of enamel dots with only like 4 or, you know, 3, whatever kind of enamel dots. So I use them when I can, and I like this because it's something different than just all the wood and paper here. Obviously I have the washi on there, but it's a little bit of a add here. And then these big dots, I like to tuck them under things because it hides them and they're not so kind of out there in the middle of everything, but you can still use them. I think that's hard for lots of us to use the enamel dots, the big enamel dots. So just kind of scattering them around and sticking them to the wood here. All right, so I have that done. I'm really liking the way this looks now. And again, I did move a few things around, add a few more snowflakes in. Oh, and I was showing you there, I used that package up. I was very proud of myself for doing that. And then I'm just going to glue down the circle here because the circle really wasn't glued down very well. You want to use a heavy piece of cardstock when you do something like this, by the way, because that wood veneer is pretty heavy. All right, guys, upcoming is still shot in a couple of detail shots. Don't forget to go to the description bar and check out Rachel's video. And again, I have a playlist called Product Placement, and that's where all of the previous videos are. Bye, everybody.